Good morning and welcome to the Darkmom Consortium for May the 20th, 2021. I am Mom. Good to see you all this morning. I'm a very tired mom. Got home from class about 11:15, 11:30, and of course I had to go in and finish up my dailies from yesterday, and, it's time for the event, so I'm really beat today, folks, so my apologies. This is not going to be the most exciting show, so maybe just a quiet morning. Do some missions here, see what we've got for endeavors. Mining dilithium at Vlugta. One more of those super challenging endeavors. Destroy destructible torpedoes, destroy Tholian ships, destroy Zinkethi ground. Well, let's do a couple of things while we're here first. And the first one is let's put some room. The account bank, there's a little bit there. Let's see, we can move out 3 things. What do we have there? Oh, T5 ship coupon. Let's get that out of there, that out of there. Let's make sure we protect that. That would be a bad one to lose. And that. Sort those over there. Anything here we absolutely have to have? Make a little bit more room. There you go, Iggy. We can have some toys. And do we really need triples? No. I know. I'm not throwing them out the airlock. I promise. Just opting not to keep them there. How's that? And let's see if we can move these guys out too. I want to leave that stuff there. Take that out. That I do want to leave. But there's some dilithium to be had. Let's go get it. It's quick 60 dilithium. I'm not going to argue with that. Ooh, 66. Somebody's got a boost on here. Yay. Thank you, whichever fleet he decided to put a boost on. I'm just curious. While I'm sitting here, grab that one. Oh, this is somewhat easier. Wonder how much flotation. No, doesn't work that way. Okay. Can't jump over things massively. Gravity is still a thing. Did they change this? I don't remember this one. Can't wait to get all the speed boosts on this tune. Actually, on all these tunes, because the other ones just say, phew. These guys are so slow on this account. Does look like they've changed a few things. Is that me? Thank you.
Watch the wheel, not the girl.
So let's put any of the rewards into these boxes here so we can start building up some of the other tunes as well. Do we have a mailbox here? We do. Let's see if we've got any good mail. We do. However, let's go ahead and use those. We'll greed here. We did all the work. We should get to keep some of the prizes. And since we're here, let's reacquire those missions so the next time we happen to stop in, we can go do them again. Just in case. Alright, so this looks like a day. Good morning, Kadargo. This looks like a job for Gorney. He hasn't had much playtime for a while. How are you doing today, Kadargo? Tholian ships. Yes, I know. Azure Nebula. But that's a long sequence. Alright, let's see which episodes. Zinkethi Ground, let's see if we've got that queued up here. Is anyone noticing that it's got this weird shaky thing in the in progress? Like that? Oh, that's the wrong one. Man after my own heart there. It's not illusion of communication. It is... Oh, you can tell that I have not had enough sleep. Of Signs and Importance. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one we want. That is a show I did not appreciate at its time and have come to love. And we'll say Lower Decks was kind of like that too. First time through was just, ugh. And started to enjoy it after that.
The Kaon particle traces lead into the valley ahead of us.
Oh, I see. They followed the waterfall. The rocks here are causing a lot of interference. We should take another set of scans to get our bearings.
Do a little love there. Alrighty.
Come, Zinkethi. See our true warrior fight. You will not stop us. There are some Zinkethi with a taste for battle.
Scans indicate they took the path to the east.
Pet Boy. Can do some musical jokes about being a pet boy, you know? That could be fun. Anything else here I can use at the moment? Wow. I do not use some of this stuff, do I? There we go. Get a little assist on this whole thing.
Why would they destroy entire planets?
They must find some tactical advantage in these actions, for some reason.
Readers and Kathy life signs ahead. They're waiting for us.
So there were, what, 13 there?
We will meet them in glorious battle.
Uh-oh. Well, that didn't turn out quite as I expected. Okay.
They're using delaying tactics. We must be getting close.
The path continues down from here. The protonator bomb is still ahead of us.
Where are we going to put you, dear? Let's do that. Oh, goodness, I have lots of pets down here with me. That's interesting. Okay, that's 26, so there's 13 at each one. I can live with that.
The Kaon levels are rising. We're getting closer to the protonator bomb.
They fight like cornered rabbit tar. I can smell their fear.
There, just ahead. I see guards. We must be close.
To quote Garrick, a cave. How convenient. Alright, let's do a rinse and repeat here and see if we can get the remainders.
I'm reading a move swiftly, and we can take them by surprise.
I believe, Kadargo, that Von Marcus has got the Quacken and the Proto-Quacken, which are two monster pet ships. At one point, he had launched something like 60 pets. Give me up you go. Thank you very much. Let's put you up there. Let's launch you. Thank you very much. All right. Did I miss something? I think I missed something. Okay. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. It went to the next sequence. It's not letting me redo this. I have to wait a moment or two. Let's go back up and see if it'll let me do it from here. I want to redo this whole sequence here. I don't want to go on. Has anybody else noticed this thing? If you go up, like Sphere of Influence, sometimes you have to wait a couple of moments for it to reset. I don't remember that being a case before. I mean, obviously, I could go do the Tholian ships and come back and get that, which I guess I will do then. Let's see. We want to go to Beta. We can go to Azure. That's the best one. Let's go. I have not played with Von Marcus for a couple of days, and I haven't seen the Quacken in probably a month, but that used to be interesting, except there was one point where the Quacken, and I want to say it was a Gemmy Vanguard, but I could be wrong as to what ship it was. It would launch, and then there'd just be this cloud of pets around it to the extent that I swear sometimes you could not see that ship. but it was really an awesome ship. Nice firepower. Curious. Wonder if you could make that into a tank of some sort to really draw aggro. Don't worry, we'll go back and finish up this in Kathy in just a moment. Let's just take care of some of these Tholians, and hopefully we'll pick up the 3 destructible torpedoes while we're at it. I do like the old school patrols every now and then. Nothing wrong with the new ones, but, you know, it's fun. We've got our 10. Nice to get some torpedoes in here. Oh, we did. See if we can't get that 3rd torpedo, and we'll be done with this one. We're almost done with this one anyway. Come on, throw a torpedo at me, somebody. There it is. That's 3, yay! And I think we just have that mesh weaver. Thank you very much. But since we're here, let's go see what we've got for materials. You never know when it'll come in handy. Not now, thank you very much. Since mats are still things, isn't that nice to have that little puffy cloud of, what have I got there? 12 times 2, 24, is that all? No, that's more than 24. Ooh, rubidium. Remember when these things were important? Alright. There we go, done with that one. And let's go finish up this one. And we have 23 left to go, so should do it in these first two sequences. I hope if everything goes well.
Their weapon.
Okay, there we go.
The Kaon particle traces lead into the valley ahead of us.
Oh, I see. They followed the waterfall.
Good morning, Random Track. How are you doing today? Good morning, Wolfie. How are you today, dear? Hope everyone's having a good day.
Come, St. Kathy. See our true warrior fight. You will not stop us. So, there are some Zinkethi with a taste for battle.
All right, 11 to go. I thought there should have been 13 in that sequence.
Entire planets.
They must find some tactical advantage in these actions.
So I got back to doing my martial arts classes last night, which I love
Really
martial arts.
Zenkethi life signs
The
ahead.
drawback is it's 3-hour drive each way, so Wednesday nights are really late.
We will meet
Hence I'm on Thursday mornings. Yeah, back in the day, Random Trek, you would do crafting on Defra. You'd pick up stuff from the Borg. You know, you'd get cortical implants and other stuff, and you could craft things specific to Defra, Borg stuff. It's not the way it is anymore. I mean, you can still craft there, but not like you do now, not with building stuff to the same extent, and you don't have to go around and do all those little mini missions to get things picked up. But there was also a point, and I want to say it was 5 years ago or so, where crafting was different. You know, you'd have to have X number of these and Y number of those. I probably don't have nearly the supplies like this. You'd have a lot more. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know I had those. You'd have so many mats, and people would be desperate for things like rubidium and Z particles. Salvage technology is probably one of the few that's still critically important. Yeah, they always ask about stuff, and I never watch the show anymore, because that's the night I'm taking martial arts classes, and therefore not around to watch the show, but it's a question worth asking them. It was something people like doing. Let's pick this up. And let's see. We need to go find a bank. Xbox or PlayStation? Nope. It's not what we want. Gamma Quadrant. Storm Clouds Gather. Shortcut to DS9. Yeah, I see that. I've seen a lot of people coming back in the last 3 months, maybe a little bit less, 2 months. I know that they said that when they started the Klingon Recruit. Good morning, WC. When they started the Klingon Recruits, they had a huge number of new people coming back in. I love my instructors. Xbox, okay. Yep, blue and purple. Actually, it's magenta. I was trying to decide if I was going to go with metallic silver or magenta, and I thought, you know what? Let's go magenta. Yeah, I train with Sylvie's self-defense school in Bloomington, Illinois, and I have known my instructor now for, I don't know, 20 years? And I was teaching for a long time, and I would just go down there, to have fun and visit and, train with other people who were teachers. And then just kind of stuck around. So I'm still there after all this time. I will say that 3-hour drive is so challenging in the morning. Or at night after a long day. Drive 3 hours. You're exhausted when you get there. You get really stoked because you're there and class is awesome and people are great. And then you have to turn around and go home, and it's really a long night. To which my husband would be like, just get a hotel room and sleep. Well, that's a great idea, except you still have the 3-hour drive, and I still have to be in the office at 7:30. Yeah. It's 4 hours to go home, so that makes an average week 6 hours for martial arts and 8 hours for home. That's 14 hours a week in the car. So what are your options? Take a plane? Well, yeah, but then somebody still has to come get you at the airport. All right, let's jump over and see what we've got on the other account here. Hello, Wolfie. How are you doing? Yeah, summer cars are a thing, but if you drive a lot, you just get a car that can handle both of them. Decent air conditioning, decent heat, great tires. Alright, so we got kinetic damage in space, destroy Tholian ships. Hey, we got a theme going here. And harvest materials in space. We can do this. So where are we? Let's go hit Archer again. Definitely got a theme going here. You put cognac in your rice pudding? That's serious rice pudding. It depends on the car. But yeah, that's a good point. Do I do any kinetic damage on this? How much do I have to do? 50,000. Let's just remember to put it back when we're done, Mom. There we go. Little kinetic damage up front. Huh. Okay, so WCA, there's this thing in Scandinavia called, depending on where you are, risalamand or risalamalta, which the best description I've got for it is risotto made with milk instead of with stock. So you cook your rice with water, about 2 cups. A cup of rice, 2 cups of water, and just as it's getting cooked, you slowly add in 5 cups of milk. I use whole milk because it's just decadent. And it slowly exudes the starch from the rice, and it gets slightly thick, but it's this incredibly creamy textured rice pudding. And then you flavor it up with a little bit of sugar, a little bit of butter, both very good. And if you're doing risalamalta, you have little bits of orange or tangerine in it. Very delicious, very refreshing. And if you're doing risalamand, it's good the way it is, though Pi insists that you need to serve it with cherry sauce. Being super careful not to engage the Tholians quite yet. Yeah, well, I don't have cherry sauce in the house either. I would if I had thought about it. But then again, I don't have a pan for making that stuff. I have one pan. Let's beam out and start that in again. Okay, so I have one pan for cooking. It is a saucepan, 2-eared saucepan, 2 handles. Maybe 2-quart saucepan. And obviously, to make this thing, you need a big saucepan. But this is the saucepan that my mom had. It's her first saucepan when she moved out of her house. So that would make this pan 80 years old. And I'm still using it. It's been around for a while. And when she was newly married and she'd try to cook dinner, she said she'd cook something in it, immediately put that into the oven to stay warm, and then wash the pan. Go on to the next item and cook everything in this one pan, constantly washing it between things. It's the quick like a bunny methodology of cooking. And lo and behold, that's what I do these days. Obviously, the good cooking gets done when I get back home. But I refuse to buy more saucepans when eventually we're just going to be in the same house. Though at the moment, where that house is going to be is a good question. Well, that's a thing. I've seen those. They're designed to cook basically an egg. Why you would do that, I don't know. Well, this would be nice. We could get all these done at once if I can get the kinetic damage on it. Cast iron pans. Are we talking, like the super heavy lodge kind? Because they definitely have their place. They last forever. You can use them over electric. You can use them over some of the inductions. Take them out camping with you. They're relatively inexpensive. Season them up, and you can get away with them for years and years and years. I wouldn't use them for cooking a fancy schmancy sauce, though you can. The thing is, they hold heat for a long time, so it's an art to cooking with them. You have to be able to control it. Yep. Well, back in the day, random trick, I used to work for a company called Magma Foundry Technologies, which was actually a software company. They had software that lets you simulate the process of metal casting to, make sure that what you're going to do worked before you spent tens of thousands on prototyping, or tens of millions on prototyping. Yeah, our software was super expensive, but super excellent. And Lodge was actually one of our companies. And I found out later why they had started to use it. Our very ancient Lodge 10-inch fry pan, the standard fry pan you get from them, probably a $30 wonder, that we'd had forever and ever, had indeed developed a problem with the crystalline structure in the handle. So one day, the handle snapped off. Cast iron and the handle snaps off. But there had been an issue with it cooling improperly, and they knew this was happening. That's why they got the software, to start figuring out how to avoid these weird crystallization issues. But totally cool. My dad had a Lodge pan that, to clean it, WC, after he used it, he would brush out any food debris, then give it a scrub with salt and oil, and then brush out all of the residue. So it never rusted. That thing did not need oiling except for flavor. Yeah, the salt you use for a scrub, rather than using like a scrub brush on it. Obviously these days they've got all kinds of plastic scrubbers, which, yeah, you can still wear the heck out of a pan with it, because I assure you I've scratched a few pans with those, but the salt becomes your abrasive. Well, that was a really successful run there. Well, random track, if you really want to cook with a lodge pan, throw away all of your other pans so it's the only one you've got an option to have, and you learn how to cook with it. It's amazing what we can do when we need to. So I have the 90-year-old pan now, 80-year-old pan, and I know exactly what my mom means because I would roast a chicken, obviously, in a separate pan. I would make mashed potatoes in the pan. I have a fork. I don't have anything else to mash them. So you cook them. I have an old lid. Drain out the water, mash the potatoes, add the butter and this milk. That goes in the oven to stay warm while the chicken finishes roasting. Now I can go ahead and make the gravy in that. Okay, make the gravy in that, put that in a bowl. That goes in the oven. Take that out. Now I can do my veggies in it. So I can understand why she was so thrilled when, after she got married, she got more cookware as they got older. All right, let's jump over to Ketha and see what we are doing with her. You learn to get really good, and I'll tell you, if you're able to make mashed potatoes, a decent gravy, and, a couple other things, you've got some basic techniques down because you understand the logic. I'm sure WC, who's a good cook, can agree with me on this one. The techniques are what's critical, and there's always a trick to everything. So we're going on to Scylla and Charybdis. By the way, tonight is going to be Pimp My Starship, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we're working on DT's ship tonight. But if you have a ship you'd like to build, or if you'd like to bring it in and have people join us, we've had a lot of older players who are now back in the game coming in and using some of their expertise to help develop other players with making better ships. I did splurge once I moved here, Random Trek. I now have a bowl too, which is my mixing bowl, my bread bowl, my salad bowl, one of my service bowls. Oh, this one, okay. Yep, good seasonings. Okay, that is something I do regret not bringing down here. I brought down a knife? Yeah, I brought down my 10-inch chef's knife. 8-inch chef's knife. That I've had since before I got married, so going on to 50 years now. It's beautiful, it's properly weighted, and about 8 years ago the handle broke. Yes, it's a Nandy. I love Nandys. Nandys are awesome. The only problem with the Nandys is they're so maneuverable. So I had the polaric modulator on this thing and could not fly it for beans. Alright, I focused on learning to make one thing well. One good soup, one good pasta sauce, one good cake, and expanded from there. It's true. This is a Ferengi Nandi. It's a tier 6 ship. Was this a prize ship? I'm going to say I got it as a prize ship, but I think it's out there. Yeah, actually, Random Trek, WC's right. If you can get the Julia Child way to cook, she has great techniques on learning the basics and then how you expand from there. I have the book. It is brilliant. I have the book, and I'm actually a very experienced cook, and it still teaches me stuff. Alton Brown is another one. Elton Brown, excuse me. Elton Brown is another cook who will teach you how to cook and then how you can expand from there. suppose turning those completely off wasn't a great idea. Thought there was an accolade for getting all the protomatter torpedoes on this. There is. Okay. I didn't know those were on YouTube.
Mara's defected to the Alliance. She's revealed the next target of the Zenkethi fleet, Bejor. The intel checks out, so every available...
So,
Okay, my first Nandy, and this goes way back, is when builds were starting to become a thing. This was a prize ship from some event, and I'm sure I got this one as a reclaim.
you made it.
But Ed had created a build called the Witch of Andor, and my first build was the Witch build, and it was a dirt cheap build.
And with honor,
It was lovely.
comply.
It was a great tutorial on how you can put a ship together with fairly basic, like Mark 12 stuff, low investment,
This is Sarah Schmidt. Torpedoes
and have it be quite effective for its day. There in being the catch for its day. Well, that battleship's taken a lot of damage, which is surprising. Julia Child was a real person. Darn straight she was a real person. Oh my gosh, what an interesting woman.
It's the butcher. The butcher is here.
If I remember right, she took up cooking more because she was bored because her husband was in the diplomatic corps. And they were relatively poor, and so not a lot of things she could do. So she started doing cooking at home, then started doing classes, and then she went to Paris, and oh my god, what was the woman's name that she trained with? Simka, who's also a brilliant cook and great writer. And they started putting together their cooking tutorial. The way to, is it the way to cook or, God, it's, let's beam them over here. What is Julia Child's primary book? Mastering the Art of French Cooking, which she wrote with, come on, Simone Beck is the one I'm thinking of. But brilliant book. Really teaches you a very fancy way of cooking, you know, the French cooking techniques. Then it gets really interesting because it comes back as she discovers, or she kind of explores how to make French cooking more accessible for everybody. And really was the beginning of the cooking movement in the US, moving away from basic frying foods and boiling foods. I used to collect old cookbooks, and one of my favorite ones was to cook the spinach for an hour until it was tender. An hour. Cooking a vegetable for an hour. Oh my gosh. Ugh. And then horrible recipes like cooked lettuce, cooking lettuce, cooking celery. But the books that I have also have detailed home lives for women, such as before you do the cooking, you have to make sure that you go out and chop enough wood to feed the stove for the day, and how to dust your house correctly, and how to set the table. And then you go and boil and fry everything. Okay, so WC, the latest thing here for bar food is deep fried Brussels sprouts, usually served with a lovely bacon aioli. There's absolutely no pretension that these things are healthy, but they are delicious. Oh my god, they're so good. Yeah, tasting history is excellent. There's another history show that... I don't want that, thank you very much. I just want to beam over. There we go. Where they would send two people into a scenario and they had to eat and live as if they're living anything from, Roman period. I think they even did caveman period. And they would assess caloric intake, quality of food, how healthy it was. WC, I've had the fried Brussels sprouts with bacon and hazelnuts. It's a Christmas tradition. Though we started going to almonds when hazelnuts got kind of hard to get a few years ago. It is delicious. The trick, though, always make sure you cut your Brussels sprouts in half so they're smaller, and then cook them face down so they absorb up some of the bacon and they get the crispy brown. If you start them on the back, they'll cook through, and it's too moist for them to take the color on the cut side, so I'd always do cut side first. Okay, so you see how this is going to a connection timed out? Somebody had a workaround for that. Oh, I don't think dusting's important, random check. I was just pointing out that this was included in the cookbook because cooking was not the focus of a woman's job. Yes, you had to be able to cook, but you had to be able to do all these other things, and they were expected of you. Okay, we're at 6:50. Think we can do this in 10 minutes? I don't know. I love bioessence transfer.
Fire at will.
There. Weapons control is in that room, just ahead.
Yeah, I know I've got too much stuff. And I'm not going to get rid of any of it either. Oh shoot, this is the hard one. Okay.
Surprised to see me.
We have an unwanted guest. Finish him off quickly.
Get away from that console, Buckley.
They know we're here. Good.
They know we're here. Yeah, I would think they know you're here. Okay, if you're doing this and you're not aware, try to get the councils before everybody kills Captain, whatever his name is here.
Do it while you can.
Get away from that console, Buckley.
There you go. Now kill him.
They rerouted their weapons control to the command hangar.
If you're doing it with a team, it's really hard to not kill him fast.
You tried to end me once before. It won't be effective.
I want some bacon and eggs now, too. WC, you've started a thing here.
Fought well. He won't be coming back from that.
So last Saturday, WC, this is more oriented for you.
At least they're making it.
I taught Farney how to bake bread from scratch. And we were kneading it by hand. I did the whole thing by hand because I know he doesn't have a stand mixer. And it takes a fair amount of, put some shoulder into it. You want this to taste good? You want it to be delicate? You want a good crumb on it? You gotta work for it. Is this Nethpar? It is Nethpar.
So much destruction. So many lives lost. It has to end now.
I don't know if we're baking this weekend, as my schedule has massively changed out of the blue. Maybe we will get this done on time.
Captain Paul, I know you would have. Soon, you would send Grago for my best captain's men.
Let's see if we can get him. Somewhat effective, not great. Let's see. Let's try this. There are some cooking shows based out of Japan and China that are now on YouTube. If you want to watch really interesting stuff, there was a woman teaching people how to make basically a fried egg sandwich. And it's delicious right up until she put strawberry jam on it. And everyone, almost to a person in the comments went, "Oh!" Right till then. You had to meet till that. But ham, egg, cheese, beautifully toasted bread, and strawberry jelly. Ugh. Ah.
Victory belongs.
Incoming data from planets targeted.
I've been to parties where we wound up painting somebody's house, where we've moved their furniture. Usually they tell us, not always. But they've always been grateful enough to make sure we get fed. Yeah, I have no clue. It's just, oh. There's a French thing, a croque madame, or croque monsieur, which is a deep fried ham and egg sandwich. French toast ham and egg. And you can either pan fry it or deep fry it. And traditionally around here, they serve it with jam. And I can't get it. Why would you do that?
Impossible.
Oh, no, I haven't seen Uncle Roger. I will have to go look it up. Is it on YouTube?
Something of legend.
What am I saying? Everything's on YouTube.
They belong to the Herc.
The Herc. Dun, dun,
Return
dun.
to our ships immediately.
Yeah, it's a lot of ships. But do you remember in the sequence leading up to the episode Midnight, where you basically are looking at a wall of Iconian ships, and it really looked scary? The Herc are like, Herc,
There is more about the Herc using caretaker. Recommended.
Many a Klingon has dreamed.
All right, defend DS9. Do we have time? Yeah, we got 5 minutes.
DS9 is under attack. This is Captain Alpha, speaking from the Zenkethi force. All ships, target the shooting vessels. The Gruntsuli are everywhere. Wake up!
Darn it, I don't have the Herc Swarmers on this ship. That would be so fun.
We've lost shields. DS9 is taking heavy damage.
We give our lives to Basil.
And so I was reading about J.G. Hertzler, who's Martok. And when he was reading for the role of Martok, he knew about all the over-the-top, blustery, bold Klingons, and he went in and did the opposite. He underplayed it for the tryout. And they really liked it, except they're like, yeah, that's really good, we really like it. Can you maybe Klingon it up just a little bit? Which he eventually did, obviously. But he is still one of my favorite Klingons. And a beautiful foil for Robert O'Reilly, who is just awesome as Gowron. Oh, that's brilliant!
Everything else is offline.
That's what they should have done. We've always had Federation-based Star Trek shows. We needed a Klingon-based one. Random Trek, that is brilliant. I'd say, excuse me, I'd say there's a fanfic in there, but Martok's already got such a rich backstory. I don't know that there's a lot of places you could go with it. It's a creator.
They're hard to hit.
Not that that's ever stopped me from doing that, but... Be nice if I could target somebody. It's absolutely weird I can't target anyone. There we go. Well, I think Martok is, in a lot of ways, one of the reasons I like the card, especially as he's getting older. It's not the young man's game anymore. This is presented with a bit of a mature edge to it. A little bit more worldly wise, a little bit more tired. And it does build for a nicer character.
I am unarmed with the sanctuary on DS9. Permission to come alone. Understood. I will cooperate to my fullest extent.
DS9 had a spin-off show, a Gamma Arc.
On the off-target. Was it?
Or did you not mean that?
Can't get it
Boy, we better finish this or I'm going to come back and have to do this whole battle again. Okay, my Klingon's not that good. I don't know that Voyager had a lot of room for a spin-off once they got back to Earth. Because it kind of would have had to have created from whole cloth again. And let's be honest, it wasn't that well written, which tells you that scriptwriters at that time that they were hiring were, questionable. Oh, I'm not going to get this done before I have to go. Gosh darn it. Thank you.
Dominion ships incoming. Are they attacking? Dominion vessels.
There's a science fiction show out of Canada called The Star Lost. I want to put that in the 1970s. It only lasted one season, and the only thing it had going for it was it had Keir Delay in it. But they were so strapped for money because the producers were basically stealing it all. You know, hiring all their friends as opposed to hiring talented people, that they got scripts as part of a contest from a writing contest at the local high schools. Seriously. And it was parodied by one of the people involved in the show in a book called The Star-Crossed, which is a less than subtle way of telling the story. But people who couldn't act, actresses who were hired for skills other than their acting skills, people on drugs to the extent that they were incapable of working.
Drethor is littered with souls.
Paris and Kim, Dukes of Hazzard. Okay, that is great.
As always,
We have to. I know that chick.
We are done with that one. I love that. Actually, Garrett Wang is such a funny guy. That would be a great show to watch.
The attack attack on Bajor is quite illogical.
Ooh, it's the Bajor
There are
stuff.
no signs of crystal eggs there.
Okay, I guess we're going to have to go play that a couple of times. But not today. Okay, I know what somebody has to do for their next tune. Is create that whole series. Alright, let's go back and require Scylla and Charybdis, and then I'm going to go to work, folks, so I can get paid to sit around and do this stuff. Maybe I'll play it at lunch or something. Alright, everyone, on behalf of the Dark... Of course he did. Of course he did. There's a story out there about Paris putting fins on everything. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to go take a look at it. If it's on Stitcher, I'll find it. Alright, so on behalf of the Darkmom Consortium, I want to thank everyone who joined me this morning on my very sleepy, overtired morning. We will be back at 7 p.m. DT is hosting Pimp My Starship. If you want to bring your starship into the shop and have us take a look at it, or have everybody take a look at it, or if you just want to volunteer your advice and opinions, jump in and join us. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 12 hours from now. We will see you then. Everyone have a great day. As soon as I can find the control here, I will end this.